Okay, this is Mr. Rio, and we're back after some time off. And we're going to learn a little bit, not a lot, but we'll cover some of the essential skills of Microsoft Excel. Um, some of you may have the full version of Excel on your computers, and if you do, great. Open that up and you can use that. For those that are doing the online version, I have another tutorial up here about how to get to Office 365 on the web. Once you get there and get logged in, it should look something like this here. This is where you can see the different programs of Microsoft Office, such as Word that we've already done, and Outlook you can use for email. OneDrive is our drive, and you'll also see down here your OneDrive um, for your files that are stored there. PowerPoint's here, Excel. Now they do have, for those interested, up here in the top right, Install Office. So if you can figure out how to download that and use your Harper Creek login, you can get Office for free. And as long as you or someone in your family's a Harper Creek student can use their login, you can keep using Microsoft Office, the whole family. So that's a really good deal. So if you can do that, great. Download that, and you'll have that, and you have all these great programs. Today we're going to focus on Excel. So, in the interest of maybe not everyone can figure out how to download or whatever, I'm going to use the online version only. It's not quite as nice, but we're just covering the basics, so that's okay. So, you can just go ahead and click Excel right here. It's automatically going to save in your OneDrive down below here. And when you first click onto there, they give you some options. If you don't know anything about Excel and you want to go through a welcome to Excel thing here, you can do that. I'm just going to click on a new blank workbook right here, the first option. And when you open that up, it opens up just a basic Excel document. Now, you'll hear me sometime interchangeably use the term spreadsheet and worksheet. When these type of programs were originally developed in the 1970s, they were called spreadsheet programs, and the each sheet was called a spreadsheet. And then when Excel came out, they started calling the same thing worksheets. And then they combined where you can have more than one worksheet in a file. You'll see how that works here in a little while. And you can have what's called a workbook. And each workbook can have many sheets in it, or it can have one sheet, either way. So technically, this is called a workbook that you see open here. Down here at the bottom, you see sheet 1. We're on sheet 1. So a workbook can have just one sheet. But you can click this little plus here and add a second sheet and a third sheet and so on, and click the tabs to go between them. Now, if you did like I did and you clicked a couple of sheets here, go back to sheet 1. And we're going to actually click on sheet 1 here. And if you do a right click, you can go up to rename. And we're going to name it budget. Okay. Now, if you got a regular file, if you have regular Excel and just got a regular file that you save, or actually using the regular version of Excel, you can just double click in here. But it didn't look like it allowed me to do. Oh, I guess if you do double click on it, it pops up. You can rename the sheet. So the first one, we're going to do budget. That's the only one we're going to do in this lesson today. But we're going to use the same workbook for a couple other sheets in the next lesson. My plan, by the way, is just to do about an hour's worth of Excel this week. That's for the whole week. So I'm going to do all that and get it uploaded by Monday, which by the time you see this, you will have seen that. Okay, so just to show you around what is a spreadsheet program, that is the original concept was that a lot of business documents not only have text but have numbers. Now, not all the numbers need to be calculated, because you can imagine you can have a list of people's phone numbers or something that doesn't require a calculation, but many do. Many do need to get added or subtracted or averaged or whatever. So the concept was this. We'll take a sheet, which this is a sheet. Think of it as like a sheet of paper. We'll divide it in rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, and columns, A, B, C, D, E, F. Now, the intersection of a row and a column, I'll just randomly click here. That's in row 5 and column C. So that is cell C5. These are called cells. So you have rows, columns, and cells. That's called a cell reference. And I'll just click around. Here I'm in C7. Now, if you look up here, you'll see the name of the cell that you're currently in case you're not sure. And this little FX is for inserting a function. And we're going to be talking about formulas and functions. Functions are a type of formula. Now, a spreadsheet or worksheet, if you want to get technical in Excel, can be used for all kinds of things. Some people just use it because it's a nice way to make a list. You put a list of names, a list of phone numbers, whatever, and it's just really nice for that. And you can organize it and make it look real good. Obviously, a lot of people use it for calculations, such as a list of employees, hours worked, hourly wage, and how much did they make then, say, for the week or the month. So you can make spreadsheets for all kinds of things. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot more detail right now about Excel. I want to jump right into us making something. And one of the most common things that you can make that's really practical and really useful, I'm trying to keep this to pretty useful skills, is a budget. So actually, to be honest with you, it doesn't really matter. If you want to start in A1, you want to start, say, in B3 like I'm going to do, as long as you do the same thing, it's not so picky if you're in the exact same cells that I'm in. So I'm going to click here and put your name. I will put my name, Michael Rios budget. So what does this mean? This is going to be a budget for the month. Like what kind of expenses do you have? And just trying to figure out, where your money might be going or where it has to go. So I'm going to, now I notice that I typed this in B3, and you may be in B4 or some other cell in this area up here. And it automatically goes over in the next cell. Now, technically speaking, it's not in that cell. For example, if I click out of that cell and I want to go back and edit it, I can't click in C3. I can click in it, but I can't edit anything. So if I want to edit this here, I got to go back to where it actually is there. Now, a few other things here. If I wanted to fit this in here for some reason, I could go up here, put the cursor between B and C for the rows, and it becomes a double arrow. And I could literally drag this wide enough so it literally has, can fit it all into one there. Now, if I was doing a bunch of categories where I wanted then to put numbers here, that would be a good idea to do. Since this is just the title for my budget, it's not that big of a deal. So I'm going to pull this back a little bit for now. Now, I don't have to go all the way back because these don't have to all be the same size. And often you do resize this here. You can also resize the other way. Go over here on your rows. You can click here and drag this up or down if need be. And, make your rows a little bit bigger. And so forth. And I'm going to put this one here back because I don't really need that. Okay. That'll be close enough. Okay. Now I'm going to double click on my name here because I do want to do a little bit of editing to it and highlight it. Right now we're on the Home tab. Okay. The Home tab, it's not the same as in Word, but there's some similarities. Whoops, I accidentally deleted there, so I retyped my name. What? Typo. Trying to type around a microphone. Whoop. Okay, so I got Michael Rios budget. I'm going to fix my name there. Okay, I'm going to highlight it. And then I'm going to go up here to the... for some reason, it's not letting me do the size up there. Not quite sure why. So I will deselect. Okay, not sure why that grays out. That's not normal. Usually I can just go up here and edit it. Okay, I'll try just clicking onto here without highlighting it. And I'll see if there I can do it right there. Okay. So I'm new to this particular version, this online version. It's not as nice as the regular version, but it'll have to do because some of you, I understand, that's probably all that you have. So just put your name there. Now I'm going to go underneath here. I'm going to skip a row, give myself a little bit of space. By the way, if you also want to make it bold, you can do that. You can change the color. You could change the font itself if you want to try a different font. I'll do Arial Black. And that's your title. Now go down, skip a row, go down here underneath. And we're going to start putting in our categories. So the first category is going to be rent. Next category is going to be car payment. And I'll attach a PDF file of this so you can see what it is in case you want to print that out or look at it on the side of your screen while you type this. Or you can just look at this tutorial. We got car insurance. We got food. We got our cable and internet. And we have cell phone and health insurance. That's a big one nowadays for expenses. And what I'm doing here, I'm just typing and hitting return. When I hit return, it automatically goes down to the cell directly below it. Electric and gas, I combine those, though in reality a lot of times it's a one bill. Entertainment, that could be going to the movie, going to a sporting event, whatever you like to do for entertainment. Clothes, we'll put miscellaneous / gasoline. And we'll put some savings. Should have some savings each month. And then we're going to skip a row and we're going to put monthly budget. And then skip another row and then do annual budget. And skip one more row and we'll put salary. Okay, so we got these categories here. Now, some of these did overlap there. This would probably be an example where, if you want to pull this here over a little bit, click up here and pull it over. Maybe go about the width of that might be nice. Now, to put in the numbers here, if you don't want it so close, this might be a little close for some of these, you could skip a row, or you can make this row a little shorter even if it's just going to be for space. And then put over here. So just space it out nicely. Your spacing doesn't have to be exactly the same as mine, but you want to make it look good. Now we're going to do it kind of typical here, maybe living in the Battle Creek area. I'm not sure on all the costs out there, but just from what I've heard, or just kind of a little guesstimate here, we're going to pull out some numbers here. Now for rent, we'll do a fairly modest number. We'll pretend you're not long out of high school, you're working, and you want to get an apartment. So we'll put $600. Now $600 is either a pretty cheap apartment, or it could be a nicer apartment where you have a roommate and you're paying half of the rent. Okay, so we'll do $600. For car payment, now that can vary widely. Some people buy cheap cars and don't have a car payment. Some buy brand new ones where you can have a real big payment if you don't put a lot down. But we'll just kind of do what a lot of people do. A lot of people get car payments of around $400 a month. Okay, some do less, some do more, but that would not be uncommon for a lot of people. Car insurance, probably at least $100 a month for young people. I'm going to go $125. Food, cable, and internet. I don't know. I accidentally put food separate. That was my mistake. Now, here's what happened is, I should have put cable and internet on the next one down. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to do a right click and go down to insert. I'm going to insert a new row. Now another way I could have done it was click on the cell, go up here to the menu up here, it says insert, and then there should be an option here. Again, this looks different than I'm used to, but there should be an option here for inserting a row. And I don't see one. So I'm going to go back to home and not worry about that up here since I can do it down here. So I'm going to go here, do a right click, I go down to insert, go down to sheet rows, and add another row. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to type food up here and delete the part that says cable internet, and then I'm going to go in the next one down, double click so I can edit it, and remove food. Okay, so I got my my spreadsheet fixed. Now I click here. Now for food, now that could vary widely. You know, do you eat a lot? Do you eat out a lot? Do you, what kind of food do you eat? So I'm just going to put $400 a month. Now for some people that'd be low, for other people that'd be high. Cable and internet. Some of you got maybe cable TV, maybe internet bundled with it. Again, that could vary widely. Some people get simple packages. At minimum, you probably need some internet connection at home. But we'll just put down $50. I realize some people spend less and some people spend more. Your cell phone, I'll put down $60. Again, some people spend less, some spend more. Health insurance. Usually wherever you are employed, you have to pay at least something toward your health insurance. We'll say it's $200 a month. For some it's more, for some it's less. Your electric and gas combined, that could easily be $50 a month, which of course could vary depending on the month. In the winter it might be more expensive. Okay. And it did not like something in there. Okay. Not sure why it's doing that. Yeah. Oh, I must have accidentally hit something there. Okay. Okay. Entertainment. Now that could vary widely again depending on what you like to do, but I'll put $200 in there. Clothes, and that's an average. Some months you spend nothing, some you spend a lot. I'll put $100 a month. Miscellaneous and your gasoline. We'll say that there's all kind of miscellaneous things you need to do, and you need to buy gas. So we'll say $400 a month for that. And savings, we'll put $300 a month, which is probably the minimum you should be trying to save, because eventually you're going to want to get maybe a house or a new car or unexpected expenses or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to deselect here. Now we have our basic title. We have our cells. We got the titles of what the labels of what we're going to have for our categories. We have the numbers put in. Now we want to do a monthly budget. So the monthly budget is simply adding these up. That's one of the most common things you do in Excel, and perhaps the easiest. So a shortcut is simply drag down here and leave the last cell empty that you want to fill. Now this could also be done to the right if you were doing a bunch of numbers this way, but most of the time with a file like this you're going to do it down. So you go down, make sure the last one's empty, and that's where you want it to go. Then you go up here and you are going to, usually in the regular Excel you can see it right here. It usually has your functions. Oh, right here we got them. Okay, so we click here. And the most commonly used one is sum, and that happens to be the first one selected. And you can click OK. Oh, actually, there was auto sum up here. I don't know how that happened there. That went in the wrong place. So I'm going to simply undo this. Okay, not sure what's going on here. It's acting kind of weird. Not letting me undo it either. So we're going to go up here. I'm going to take this here out. Deselect. I'm going to have to fix rent there. $600. Okay. When I did this here, okay, well, that was I know why it happened, because I didn't see auto sums hidden way over here. It used to be up here in the middle because it's so commonly used, but we're in an online kind of weird version. So auto sums hidden kind of way over here. So in the interest of doing this over again, pretend I didn't do that. Sometimes mistakes happen. The reason I did that is because I thought I wanted it there. And when you do it here, it's about one cell, so not about a range. But by doing this here, now we're going to go up here where it says auto sum. You can literally just click that button. It looks like a backward Greek letter E. And there it is right there. That's what I was looking to do, except this used to be over here. So, It got moved around. So there it is right there. It added all these up. Now, what does this look like? Let's take a look at this for a moment. Now, when you first click on it, you don't actually see the formula. Actually, it's called a function. But you have to look up here. This is where it is. All formulas and functions are a type of formula. Start with the equal sign. So that's first thing you got to have. You could type this manually. You can also, do like we just did there. Click auto sum. So we got the sum function. That's why it says sum, S-U-M. Then in the parentheses here, this is called a range. And there's a colon that separates the two cells. So we have D5 to D17. So D5 is the top left of the range, and D17 is the bottom right of the range. Now, as it turns out, D5 and D17 are in the same column, so that's why the ranges top left and bottom right are like this. And it did include 17, which is blank, but when you're adding them up, that didn't hurt anything. I could edit this. I could go up here and change a 17 to a 16, and that would be, would look a little more what I'm actually adding up, but that would not change the outcome. So that's how you do the monthly budget. And another way we could do this, and I'm just going to show it to you just to show you manually. Okay, say I didn't want to click the button over here. Okay, maybe I just want to do it manually. I click there, and I literally put in equal sign. And you notice it puts it here and up here. The only time you're going to see your formula down here is when you're making it. The rest of the time, you're going to have to edit it up here. Okay, so you put that. I'm going to put sum. I literally am typing S-U-M. Now, when I start typing, it brings this here up, which I could go on manually and put in the parentheses and the top left cell and the bottom right cell separated by a colon. Or I could click this here, and it starts that. See the parenthesis there? Now, I could just go up here and click. I could either type D5 or click on it. If I click on it, it does that automatically. Now, let's see what happens if I click on the last one. Okay, now it thought I only wanted that one. So I'm going to click on here, and I'll put in a manual colon. Then I'll click down here, and then I'll put in the parenthesis. So that's another way that you can do it. There's several ways you can do it. Okay. Now again, you see here, you don't see the function there. It's like I said, functions, a type of formula. So you click there. There it is right there, up here. Okay. Now the annual budget. What would an annual budget be? Like I said, we haven't done our lessons yet. Normally at this point we would have done probably some lessons and gone over some practice stuff. But we're kind of skipping that and getting right into doing a document. So an annual budget would simply be whatever a monthly budget is times 12. That's simple. So what's an easy way you can do that? We're going to click here, and we're going to type a manual formula. We're going to put the equal sign. Now, you'll find that formulas and functions have cell references. Could have one cell reference, could have multiple cell references. So our cell reference isn't all these ones up here. We've already added those up. We only need this cell reference right here. So I could either type D18 in my case. Now, if you're in a different group of cells, yours might be slightly different. Or I can click on there to automatically put D18 in there for me. So I'm going to put D18. Now, to do a multiplication, you need the asterisk. Asterisk is multiplication in Excel. So you can hold down the Shift key, press the number 8 key, which has the asterisk up above it. If you have another key with an asterisk somehow, you can just do that. And then we're going to simply put the number 12. Okay? So it's going to be D18, which is our monthly budget, times 12. We need the equal sign. You can look at it there or up here. Now, to finish your formula, just hit return, and you'll see the entire amount right there. Now, if you click on it, you'll see the formula up here. At this point, that's the only place you're going to see the formula. Okay? So we have a formula there. Now, here's what we're going to do. That brings us up to our budget has to be $34,620. Okay, so that's what it's going to cost us to live each month with these bills. Now we're going to have to try to figure out about what salary do we need to actually have 34,620. Because if you have a job where you make 34,620, they deduct taxes. Okay? There could be federal taxes, state taxes, social security taxes, all different taxes. So what we're going to do here is we're going to click here. We're going to start another formula. We're going to put an equal sign. And then we're going to take this cell here where our annual budget is. So that's, in my case, D20. And we're going to multiply it. So I put in another asterisk by 1.2. Now, this isn't anything that is absolutely for sure, but it'll give us some idea about what we need to make and to end up with 34,620 after taxes. So we need to make about 20% more to pay for our taxes. It might even be more than that, depending on where you live and how much you make. It might be 25%. And the higher your salary is, the bigger percent it may be. And some of you might say, what about deductions and all that? Well, that's a whole nother story. So we're just going to use a pretty simple guesstimate. That's all it is. It's not for sure. About how much more we need to make. So after taxes, we have this amount of money. So we got the equals to start our formula. We got D20, which is our annual budget. We're multiplying it by 1.2, and we hit return. So we need to make about $41,544, okay, to have this budget. Now, before we finish up here, we're going to do a little formatting. We're going to highlight all these cells right here, including our salary, and we're going to make them look like a dollar amount. Now, a shortcut to that is go up here to where there's literally a dollar sign, okay? And they also have, if you pull it down, they have some signs for some other currencies. So if you're doing English pounds or euros or Chinese or whatever, they got that. But most of us are doing the dollar sign, okay? So if you click on that, it puts in dollar signs. If these do not fit properly, for example, if you see anything like that with the numbers, that means your column is not wide enough to show all the numbers. So you just go up here and stretch it out a little bit so it can fit. Now, I personally don't like this particular one here for the simple fact that the dollar signs are way over on the left. So I'm going to look around up here to see where I could change that. And, of course, they move things around quite a bit. Okay, let me try this. Okay, that worked. So if you go up here where it says currency, pull that down, go down to the option that literally says currency, okay, and then it moves the dollar signs over. And it also puts in the decimal point and all that. So it looks very nice. Now you can deselect off of that. Now if you're happy with the way this whole thing looks, you know, you got this a little bigger and bolder. You got it laid out nicely. Now some people might say, okay, what if I want this like in bold? Just click on it, click bold. Maybe change the font a little bit because the bold doesn't get real big on this particular font. Okay, you can also go in and change the color of some of these if you wanted to. I mean, change salary to blue. Maybe I do all of them on blue here. So you can do all kinds of editing here just like you do in Word. So this is a basic budget, a very common thing, very useful thing to do. It also gives you a little bit of a reality check because, to be honest with you, this budget is a very modest budget. These are not very high cost. It's very, very low cost. But you still need to make almost over $41,000 a year to live very modestly, very cheaply, so to speak. So it gives you some idea that you need skills for whatever you do in the future so you can make a decent amount of money so you can afford to live okay. So coming right out of high school, it'd be kind of hard to make that kind of money right away. In some jobs you can, but many you're going to need to get some skills, whether it's a skilled trade or college or whatever it may be. So get some skills, get a good job. You see that life isn't cheap, and this is one of the most useful skills. What do you do now? You got it all done. You can click over here on what's called File, and it automatically saves in your OneDrive if you're in the online version. If you're in the regular version, you can do the normal save and update your saves and so forth. Now, as you see here, when you click File, you have some other options here. One of them is Save As. So we'll click Save As. Now, if you're in the online version, you may simply want to download a copy because you're going to need that to upload to the Google Classroom. Don't do it just yet because we're going to add a few more documents to this, and then we'll do that. But I just want to show you what's here, a few options. You can try those out if you want. It won't hurt anything. This saves a copy, but that copy's online. So it's if you're in the online version, you'll just have 2 copies in your OneDrive. If you need a copy on your computer so you can upload to Google Classroom, you can download a copy, which I'll cover when we're done with these first couple of assignments. So this is the first one. I'm going to end this particular tutorial right now. So this would be like, we're going to do like the equivalent of like 2 of these for this week. So for this one here, this will be like probably less than half an hour. And then you can get this one done, save it one way or the other, and then we will do another one before we upload this. So good luck, and this one's fairly simple, and I'll make another tutorial for the second part.